officially back in their home building as they welcome the Oklahoma City Spark. We know everyone is watching today. This place is going to be packed. It's going to be rocking. The Bandits are going to welcome a home crowd after opening their season on the road. The MVP, Aaron Koffel, looking to lead the way to their first win of the season. But Maya Brady and the Spark have other ideas. Alongside Amanda Scarborough, I'm Chucky Kemp. Well, the AUSL is back. It's off to a flying start, but we're back in this building, which is a special place, and once again, the Chicago Bandits home.
And we didn't have home cities last summer in the inaugural season of the AUSL, but this one you just kind of felt like a pro team was going to be here. The Chicago Bandits, a legendary professional team. So much history has happened professionally right here on this field.
Well, the Chicago Bandits probably thinking they should not be sitting here 0-3. Based on the numbers that we saw, it wouldn't be like that. But the problem is the Spark come in off of a great series.
They hit 6 home runs in 3 games. They slugged the best and scored the most runs. Their offense is going to be a handful for the Bandits like they were against the Bolts last weekend when they got the sweep. The Bandits had no problem really getting runners on board. Aaron Koffel and Morgan Zirkle and Sammy Williams hit the ball very well. Where they were lacking was with runners in scoring position. They left so many runners on base. In fact, they left 24 on base. They got swept by the Talons, and the Talons looked really good.
In a lot of ways, they out-hit the Talons in that series. Aaron Koffel was excellent. She was .500, but she only had 3 hits because she walked 6 times. So the rest of this lineup has to find a way to protect last year's MVP and hitter of the year. And then on the other side, it was the very first pick in the expansion draft, Maya Brady, who played for the Talons last year. She is electric, though, leading the charge for the Spark. And she will lead things off for Oklahoma City as the first pitch for the Bandits returning to Parkway Bank Sports Complex is just outside for ball 1. It is Bree Copeland, one of the reserve athletes for the Bandits, filling in for 3 of their normal 5 arms, gets the start today. She was excellent in 2 relief outings, 3 2/3, no earned runs in the opening series against Utah. Brady lays down the bunt. Copeland over, not a chance. It's a bunt single to lead things off for Maya Brady.
Tricky, tricky, tricky Maya Brady with the 2 home runs last weekend, and then she lays down a bunt. Her athleticism is not even fair.
Take a look at the Oklahoma City starting lineup presented by Easton. So you go from Brady to Romero to a national champion in Cheryl and one of her teammates on that 2018 Florida State National Championship team, Jesse Warren, a little bit further down in the lineup. Plenty of familiar faces on this Spark team that were members of the Bandits a year ago. That was part of the expansion draft. Sydney Romero was a Talon last year, had the game-winning home run in Game 2 of the championship series against the Bandits for Utah.
The Bandits very familiar with Sydney Romero. She's just been so clutch in her career. Defensively and offensively, she plays bigger when the moment gets bigger.
6th-year pro. She's from Murrieta, California. We've had a lot of pros from Murrieta, California, along with her sister Sierra. We also had the Edwards twins that came out of there. Taylor Edwards, a longtime pro, just retired after last season. Chopped left side. Nice job by Billy Andrews to get the lead runner. Well, the question for the Bandits from a pitching perspective is, can they get a good start? Because that was really their issue. Their relievers in the opening series against the Talons did not give up an earned run, but the starters had some problems.
Yeah, it didn't go very deep into games. In fact, of all 6 teams, combined innings that the starters went in all 3 games, the Bandits had the fewest amount of innings, so 8 2/3 combined over 3 innings, or excuse me, 3 games of work.
This is smoked by Cheryl into the gap. Romero hustling around from first, and she will hold at third, and probably a wise choice on a good relay, but it's a double for Sydney Cheryl.
Copeland trying to work in this changeup to Sydney Cheryl, and she just sits on it. I can't believe how low this was, and she was still able to go down and get it and get on time with it. Wasn't fooled at all with that changeup. finds a gap, and now 2 runners in scoring position for the Spark.
Oklahoma City had the #1 scoring offense in the opening series, scored 23 runs against the Texas Volts, took 2 of 3 games, but did not score a run in the first inning. Now Bubba Nichols-Camarena is the first of the former Bandits to face her team from a year ago. She was second in the league in home runs, but I think if you ask Jenny Dalton-Hill, if you would have asked their head coach last year, Stacey Newman-Denise, as good as Bubba is as a player, it's really about what she does from a leadership perspective. Bubba got here late last year for preseason, which only was a couple weeks, but Stacey Newman-Denise said right when she got here, she fit in and lifts this to left and over the wall. Bubba Nichols-Camarena hurting her old team with a 3-run shot here in the first.
Bubba Nichols just has power to all fields because she has opposite field power. She can drive it to the middle of the field, and then she can also have some pull power like this swing on a screwball that she is just on time with, able to barrel it up. A 3-run home run for Bubba Nichols-Camarena to get the Spark the lead.
So from Bubba to Delaney Wiz, 2 former Bruins and 2 former Bandits.
And this was kind of a theme for the Bandits pitching against the Talons, was they just could not put the Talons hitters away at times. Gave up a lot of 2-strike hits. That Bubba Nichols count was a 2-2 count.
Bubba's second home run of the season already. She also hit one in Game 2 against the Volts, and Anna Camden has Bubba in the dugout.
Bubba starting off this series with a bang. What'd you see on that pitch?
Honestly, it was but just kind of scouting beforehand. I think that they did a good job preparing for the different sides of the plate that she works. So just getting the swings off, trying to learn from it and adjust quickly.
How do you guys keep this momentum going? It's just the first inning.
Yeah, I think it's just really being aggressive and then dialing back where we need to. Delaney and I are used to this field. A lot of us are used to this field. So just being able to come out and have fun and be aggressive.
Thanks, Bubba. Back to you, Chucky.
Delaney Wiz, much differently than Bubba, is on with a hit. Little bloop single out into shallow center. That's the toughest part for these general managers. We talked to Lisa Fernandez for the Towns. We talked to Jenny Dalton-Hill as well. It's not just the fact that you had to rebuild your roster. We built a lot of relationships with these players last year. And then there's a lot of new faces and pieces of your culture that are no longer here.
Well, and it's just so fun with the Spark being an expansion team. A little bit of history of a Spark professional team that was together before they joined the AUSL, but just a different team overall completely. The Spark brand was around, but just building an expansion team and putting together a roster from scratch and trying to find that culture, trying to find your leaders, trying to find an identity right out the gate, kind of like the Portland Cascade, the other expansion team. The 4 teams that we had last year, they already experienced that last year in the barnstorming tour that they had where we didn't have home cities. Now we do, and it gives a different identity and feel to all 6 of these teams that we have now.
Jesse Warren and loops this into right field, and kind of unlucky on these last couple batters for Bree Copeland. Back-to-back bloop base hits.
Well, and Bubba Nichols-Camarena, home run, 2 strikes. Delaney Wiz, 2-strike single. Jesse Warren, 2-strike single here as well. So just needing to find a put-away pitch against these hitters, just like it was against the Talons for the Bandits pitching.
Strike 1 pitch here to Haley Lee. Back to your point on the Spark joining and these teams in their home cities. The thing that is common between these two that's different for the other organizations is that there was an established fan base for the Bandits and for the Spark. The Spark now in their 4th year of existence, but first in the AUSL. Amber Flores has been there since the beginning as well, their 4th year head coach. She understands the landscape in Oklahoma too. Played college ball there, was a 3-time All-American and 2-time Big 12 Player of the Year. And there are the 2 GMs for these teams, Jenny Dalton-Hill on the left for the Bandits and Kirk Walker. That's a new role for him with the Spark. He was the associate head coach under Howard Dobson with the Utah Talons last year. Popped up and out of play. Well, here's your 1-2 count again.
It's here again, and just figuring out a way to get some outs, get a swing and miss, get some weak contact, kind of like what happened with Sid Romero, just a weak ground ball to third base.
Here is a weak grounder to Agbayani, and they will only get 1, but there's 2 away.
And the wind is going to be an issue today. That's something that we haven't mentioned yet. The home run that Bubba Nichols-Camarena hit out of here, the wind is blowing straight out to center field. So pitchers have to keep the ball down, find a way to keep the ball in the ballpark, because any ball in the air is going to have some lift to it. It's going to continue to carry deeper than what you imagine.
We've kind of seen it blow at an angle each way. The one place we have not seen it blow in, unfortunately for pitchers, is in. Billy Andrews, ton of power. 4th round pick in the allocation draft. Didn't get all of this. Agbayani drop steps into right field and makes the catch. Oklahoma City is on the board, though, and it's Bubba against her former team.
One thing we know about this Oklahoma City team is they have a ton of pop. Make it 7 home runs on this season already, and through not even 4 games. Bubba Nichols-Camarena, such a vet.
Professional start for Maya Johnson today, and she already has a 3-run lead thanks to Bubba Nichols-Camarena. But Maya Johnson, great story out of Belmont, the first mid-major player to receive a golden ticket, and she was the 3rd overall pick in the college draft.
And this is a Spark pitching staff full of rookies, and Maya Johnson got the ball on opening day and got the complete game win against the Volts. Only mistake that she made was to Tiare Jennings, gave up a grand slam, but she was really good going down the zone a few times with her changeup. Throws with good velocity. In college, really relied on her rise ball and her screwball a lot. Didn't throw her changeup as much as what we saw opening weekend against the pros.
Morgan Zirkle fouls that off. It is a veteran top 2 in this order, and then the youth comes in the 3 and the 4 spot. Morgan Zirkle and Aaron Koffel, arguably the best 2 hitters in the league a year ago, lead it off. Sammy Williams was really great in this starting lineup, brought to you by Rawlings. She slots into the 5-hole, and it felt like even when she wasn't getting a hit, she was hitting the ball hard in that Talon series. Morgan Zirkle, 9 home runs, led the league. Second to her was her teammate last year, Bubba Nichols-Camarena, as she tries to battle in a 1-2 count.
It's always interesting to see how a rookie pitcher is going to come in and adjust with the pitches that they threw. The last senior year that Maya Johnson threw at Belmont, she threw her rise ball 43% of the time, screwed 25%, and her drop 20% of the time. But opening weekend, she threw her curveball the most, followed by her drop ball, and a changeup increase of about 10%. So her rise ball was actually her least used pitch, but remember in college it was her most used pitch.
Erin Koffel takes the first pitch away after the Morgan Zirkle walk. So what's that tell you about the early conversations they're having? Is that just, let's throw something in a little different to keep people off balance?
Yeah, maybe so, and just how good of up in the zone these professional hitters are, trying to keep the ball in the ballpark. The higher that the pitch goes in the zone, it heads more toward belt high, letters high, and usually those pitches have more of a tendency than down in the zone to get out of the ballpark. So just trying to force more ground balls, more line drives to the infield, and keep the ball in the ballpark.
Same count for Koffel as Zirkle found herself in early in the count, 1-2.
And Maya Johnson is a different type of left-handed pitcher. When I watched her pitch in college, usually a left-handed pitcher relies a lot on a curveball. That is kind of a lefty MO, is that curveball. It just seems like every lefty has one.
Awful ground ball, nice play by Cheryl and a spinning throw to get the lead runner.
And it's not that Maya Johnson doesn't have a curveball. She will throw it, but in college, you saw her pitching more or leaning more toward her screwball, so a pitch that would move away from right-handed hitters instead of into them. So just a different take on a left-handed pitcher, something that Kirk Walker, the GM of the Spark, really actually liked about her, that she gave a different look.
This is low ball one. She will see a lot of lefties in the order for the Bandits. Taryn Kern, one of them in the 3 spot. Kern had 2 hits in the opening series against the Talons. One of them, if she hit it right now, would be out of the park easily, but the field in Utah, quite a bit bigger than the other ones in the league. Now, instead, it was a double off the center field wall. Takes the 2-0 strike. So rookie on rookie matchup. We'll see a few of these this weekend. This rookie class has been so dynamic. As Kern swings through it, strike 2.
Nice looking drop ball, just falls off the table there. And this is going to be a tough matchup for the Bandits. Like you said, all but 3 hitters are going to be one from the left-hand side against lefty and Johnson.
A little too far outside, and a full count to Kern against the Bandits, who scored 10 total runs in the opening series against the Talons. 6 of them came in the first inning. Kern missed it, and there was a runner occupying first. They'll make the throw anyway, and there's 2 outs.
Her drop ball is moving already big time. Getting a swing and miss to Taryn Kern there on a drop ball. She is leaning on that drop ball a lot right now. Look at the movement of this pitch. It just falls off the table. Delaney Wiz is back there catching. And this Spark team had to somewhat shuffle some people around, because before the season they were relying on Kinsey Hansen, and Kinsey Hansen announced that she is pregnant. So congratulations to Kinsey Hansen. But, you know, when they drafted this team, they thought that Kinsey Hansen was going to be their backstop back behind the plate. And thankfully for Kirk Walker and Amber Flores, Delaney Wiz is a player with experience not only at third base, but back behind the plate too, along with Haley Lee and Grace Jenkins as well. So 3 catching options, but they really thought that they were going to have this one right here, Kinsey Hansen, who's here just to watch the game back behind the plate. And so again, congratulations to Kinsey, expecting.
Announced that at the end of May. Her and her husband Kobe are expecting their first child. She was their first round pick in the allocation drafts. They took Brady first in the expansion draft, which was them picking off of the current teams in the league. And then the allocation draft was the remaining players available. Erickson slaps this into left field, and Bubba comes on to make the grab for the third out. So Bubba hits a 3-run home run, and Maya Johnson puts up a clean first inning. It's all about the Oklahoma City Spark offense. The big swing, 6 home runs and 23 runs led the league. How about Megan Grant's first hit of her career? 313 feet off of Carlin Pickens, and then the Talons start 3-0 against the Bandits.
And the thing about the Talons last weekend was that they found different ways to win. They had a couple of 1-run wins against the Bandits, and one was extra innings, one was a 1-0 win, one was a 5-2 win, a high-scoring game. Like, when you looked at that series with the defending champions, they won in a lot of different ways, and they look, again, like they're going to be tough to beat.
First pitch swinging for Grace Jenkins, and a nice job by Copeland to field her position. Jenkins, a rookie out of Arizona. The reserve athlete pool goes down and turns it over to the top of the order. Bandits need to settle in now. Bree Copeland needs to put up a clean inning.
Feels like it's a must, and it's not going to be easy because the Spark are already at the top of their order again with Maya Brady, who had those 6 hits and 2 home runs opening weekend. Just started out absolutely on fire.
Maya Brady won gold with Team USA at the World Games last summer. Figures to be a mainstay on that team, and you never know what can happen the next couple years, but hard to think of a Team USA that wouldn't have Maya Brady starting on it. Bounced in by Copeland, 2-1 count.
Remember last season, she was injured, so she didn't start out on opening day with the Talons and missed, I forget how many weeks it was, but when she joined them, she started out a lot like what you're seeing here this season. It's absolutely on fire. Great start to the season, gave the Talons a ton of confidence to have her join them. Just has such a big presence in the box.
She played just 6 of 24 regular season games, and she played in the 2 championship games for the Talons. And in those 6 games that she played in the regular season last year, hit .647 with 11 hits, a double, a home run, and 5 RBIs. The 2026 AUSL season is here. You can get your 4-game Flex Pass, single-game season, and group tickets for the Cascade, Talon, Spark, and everybody at AUSL.com, as this is a gapper from Romero. It was fumbled for a minute. Romero trying for 3, and she is in there as Brady scores.
Sydney got out on, or had a hit into a fielder's choice on a changeup in her last at bat, but look at her go down and take this drop ball the other way. So right now the Spark are so good down in the zone against Bree Copeland, being able to handle these pitches that are missing more on the plate. Sydney Romero looking for a mistake. She got one on the outer half, let that pitch travel, and gets herself a triple.
And that is going to force a second inning pitching change for the Bandits, it appears. At least we thought. They had signaled down to the bullpen where Mariah Lopez was ready. And here comes the lefty out of Utah to replace Bree Copeland. Not the start Chicago had hoped for after opening the season 0-3. Runner on third, one out for Lopez. We'll be right back. Change with one out in the second. Well, things should get much better from here because this is what they did in the opening series against the Talons. The starters struggled. The relievers were lights out. No earned runs in more than 10 innings pitched.
So maybe they're exactly where they want to be right now. Even though we're in the second inning, they're already having to make a pitching change. Again, their starter is just not going very deep into games. And Mariah Lopez, the lefty, will enter into this game with a great changeup and also mixes in her curveball as well. But I mean, the Bandits are just going to need to find a way to get some outs here. They're not getting very many swings and misses. Sparks seem to be on time. The Spark offense is a lot to handle.
Lopez will see Sydney Sherrill to lead things off, who takes a first pitch strike. And you got to feel a little bit for the first year pitching coach Taryn Mowat McKinney, who's done an excellent job in 3 years now at Mississippi State, but she's missing 3 of their primary 5 arms. One of them was the #1 pick ever in AUSL history, Lexi Kilfoyle. They also are missing Kat Sandercock, who starred at Florida State, and the lefty flamethrower Emily Kennedy, all finishing up in Japan right now.
Yeah, just putting them into a really tough position to start out this season. And somebody else is just going to have to find a way to step up. Odyssey Alexander Bennett looked really good in relief in Utah last, I want to say last weekend, but last series, a few days ago.
Foul ball from Sherrill, still a 1-2 count for Lopez. This is where Copeland found herself a lot in the opening frame, but just could not get batters out in pitchers' counts. Sherrill was one of them who doubled and later scored on the 3-run home run from Bubba Nichols Camarena. Sherrill to right field, blasted it toward the bleachers, and it's gone. The Spark power has traveled to Chicago. Another long ball for Oklahoma City.
So many extra base hits already by the Spark through not even 2 innings. And Sydney Sherrill gets a screwball, does not get in on her hands enough. She gets her barrel there and blasts it out of here. 2 home runs in 2 innings for the Spark, make it 8 now on the year.
They have already hit for the cycle as a team today. Anna Camden's going to stay busy in the dugout. We'll get to her in just a second with Sydney Sherrill. Bubba already a 3-run home run. 0-1 pitch. Ground ball left side picked up by Williams. 2 outs. Let's go down to Anna with Sydney.
We are going to stay busy down here, Chucky, it seems, because Sydney, you have kept this momentum going. How's this dugout feeling right now?
We're feeling really good. It's been a fast-paced game so far, so just staying with it, doing what we know how to do, and it's working. So
it is working. All right. Thank you so much. Back to you, Chucky.
I love that we're catching him, too. Right after the home run trot, we had Bree Ellis a couple times at altitude, and she was gassed coming around the bases. I think she was loving every second of it, too, because she was playing so well.
No doubt. That altitude is tough to handle in Utah. You know, now that we have these home bases, a lot of games going to be played in Utah. And it's tough on the lungs.
The Talons staying home, too. They open with back-to-back home series, so they'll get the Portland Cascade. A lot of UCLA Bruins matching up in that. All 3 UCLA rookies that were drafted, Taylor Tinsley, Jordan Woolery, and Megan Grant, going to be matching up. Woolery and Grant separated. It's hard to believe it.
Well, and I know what I'm going to be doing.
Whiz, a drive to left field over the stands. Got that up in the jet stream, and Delaney Whiz has a 2-hit day and her 2nd home run of the season.
The Spark look like they are just swinging free, getting their best swings off. I mean, this is just not holding back at all. They like it up, they like it down. They are hitting and on time with just about everything. 3 home runs for the Spark already.
They have outscored their 2 opponents in 4 games, 10-1 in the 2nd inning. Warren takes and jumps ahead 2-0. To Jesse, and takes strike 1. Guess who? Anna with Delaney Whiz.
Delaney, 3rd home run of the day for you guys. What's working for you?
Honestly, just coming out swinging. I have a lot of great teammates that just will do anything it takes to get a win. So just coming out hot and putting some good swings on some good pitches.
All right, thank you so much. Chucky, it looks like we're going to be having a lot of home run interviews today.
It looks that way. Spark fans hearing a lot from their team right now in the early stages.
Well, and it's so difficult, too. This is a first home game, remember, here in Chicago. It's hard for this crowd to get involved. And as the opposing team, as Mariah Lopez throws a really good changeup right there, it's, you know, as the opposing team, you want to come and score early and take the opposing crowd out of it immediately. And that's what they've done.
Jesse Warren walks. If you're the Spark, you also want to set the tone for an 8-game road trip that you're embarking on starting today. They open their season at home against the Texas Volts, but they're here in Chicago. They go straight to Portland, where we will follow them, and then they go to Utah, kind of staying out west before they get back home finally on June 27th. Strike 1 to Haley Lee. The power possibilities don't go anywhere when Haley Lee steps in. Had a great career at Texas A&M and then finished with 1 year at Oklahoma in 2023. Now a 4th-year pro from Kingwood, Texas. Kind of guessing at that pitch and falls behind 0-2.
Well, you know you're feeling good about the power in your lineup when somebody like Haley Lee is batting in the 7 hole for you, kind of like the Talons with Bree Ellis batting in the 8 and the 7 hole for them. Big time pop with Haley Lee, especially when she's swinging at good pitches. Opening weekend just looked like she was out in front trying to get her timing. You could just feel it. Saw her chasing a lot. So what she's looking for is just some better at bats, trying to see the ball well out of the hand of these pitchers and just starting to get more on time early in the season. That's a good take right there to take that change up, more balance, not looking like she's out in front of that, but a really balanced take. And those are the small things that you're looking for as a coach and as a player, just to slowly, continually get better at bat to at bat.
Ground ball left side, chance to end the inning, and they do. 8 hits in the game for the Sparks, 3 of them home runs.
Well, and Sid Sherrill, her first home run in the AUSL, the lefty to the pull side, and then Delaney Wiz also to the pull side. Wiz and Sherrill, 2 home runs in that same inning, and the Spark have hit 3 already in 2 innings.
Maya Johnson, and Anna has more on her.
How is this my life? That's a phrase Maya Johnson has found herself saying a lot as she begins her professional career, because just a year ago, she didn't know if she would even finish her college career. At age 15, Maya was diagnosed with lupus, a long-term autoimmune disease, and she spent 3 months this fall doing chemotherapy. She's now been cleared at the beginning of 2026 and told me she's on maintenance medication, managing her recovery and fatigue levels, but she actually told me she thinks her diagnosis can give her an advantage over her competitors. She said, "I've had to become so hyper-aware of my body that I can make corrections with a lot of my pitches on the fly. Some people need to see a video or hear feedback after a game, but I'm so in touch with my body, I can make the adjustments faster." And she said that the gratitude she has to play this game far outshines any day when her symptoms might be affecting her a little more.
And sometimes also affects her schedule, so she might work out a little bit differently than the team does for extra recovery and things like that. But an incredible story that we saw develop, and you see Maya Johnson with her cake, little F chemo on the icing there.
It's just been amazing, the career that she's been able to have in battling that, in just everything that she has been through. Is she gets a strikeout there, but I mean, such a strong, motivated, intentional player who, it was such a big goal for her to get a chance to play in this league. And I think that there were times where she thought she might get overlooked because she was coming from a mid-major school, coming from Belmont. But what she didn't know is that everybody was talking about her, that she wasn't getting overlooked, that she made a name for herself in her college career. And really that story about her lupus, to my knowledge, just came out this year. And we didn't even know, with the successful career that she had at Belmont year after year after year, that she was battling through that all 4 years.
Now facing Jessica Clements. Fights off the 0-2 pitch. Couldn't get cleared early on. Originally went to Pitt and redshirted 1 year there. It was Belmont who gave her the opportunity, and a big reason why she stayed this year, because in the special that ESPN did on Maya Johnson, she said she was getting offered some pretty big numbers to make a move away. She did enter the portal briefly, but decided to stay put.
Well, she was at the top of any Division I college pitcher in ERA for her junior and senior year. You'd go and just prepare for an SEC broadcast or ACC or whatever, you know, prepare for a broadcast, and Okay, where does this player rank nationally? Where does Nyjah Kennedy rank in ERA? Where does Jordy Fromm rank in ERA? And then you'd always see Maya Johnson at the top of that ERA list with a sub-1 ERA consistently, and just doing it against the Power 4 schools as well, not even just against the mid-major schools that she was playing mostly in her conference. And I think that that was appealing to Kirk Walker when Belmont played some schools like Tennessee and then Alabama and regionals, and they were able to see her perform against the bigger schools, Georgia as well.
Hard hit, and Romero takes it away from Clements. 2 outs. I think to Anna's point about Maya Johnson saying how quickly she can adjust, it's just her 3rd professional appearance, her 2nd start, so she's going to start to feel out these professional hitters a little bit.
Well, and she can move the ball around a lot of different ways. She doesn't just rely on one side of the plate. She doesn't just rely on going up or just rely on going down. So she can give these hitters a lot of different looks. Not every pitcher that pitches in this league is going to have a solid 4-pitch mix the way that Maya Johnson does, and especially doing it from the left-hand side. It really makes her so unique.
Slow roller to Romero. Maya Johnson with a 1-2-3 inning. Just one base runner in the game. It was a leadoff walk. Beautiful day in Rosemont. Not the start the Bandits had hoped for. 7-0 after 2 innings, and their bats are coming back to the plate. 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Oklahoma City Spark here in the top of the 3rd. Already 8 hits on the board and 3 home runs. Billy Andrews, the Nebraska product, will lead things off. Finished her college career a few years ago in 2024. 61 career home runs. That broke Taylor Edwards' program record. First pitch bounces in off the turf from Mariah Lopez. And then, of course, Nebraska this year making it back to the Women's College World Series, led by Jordy Fromm for the first time since Taylor and Tatum Edwards were leading the charge back in 2013. Off the handle and snagged over there by Williams. There's one away.
Well, what are the odds that they would have twins on their team both years that they made it to the Women's College World, or the last 2 times that they made it to the Women's College World Series?
Right fielder, number 8, Grace Jenkins.
Hannah and Lauren Cammons in this year. So now if you're Rhonda Revelle, you're thinking, I got to find a set of twins again.
Yeah, I think that's the clear ingredient of success there at Lincoln.
Just outside to the left-handed hitting Grace Jenkins, who is in her rookie year. She was selected out of the reserve athlete pool. Finished her college career at Arizona. She swings through that pitch. She was a catcher at UConn, was a tremendous player there, Big East Player of the Year in 2025, but took her visit to Arizona, and Caitlin Lowe said, well, we have Sydney Stewart. I don't want to sell you something that's not going to happen. I'm going to have to put you in the outfield. She said, let's do it.
She looked good out there. Has a really good arm, of course, because she's a catcher as well. So put that good arm out in right field, and she was able to cover a lot of ground. And I really feel like grow as a player out there defensively. And, you know, serves as another catching option here. Haley Lee, Grace Jenkins, Delaney Wiz. It's nice to have that many catching options on a small roster like this, just in case somebody else goes down, gets injured. You just never know.
Jenkins out in front, but just got a piece of that in a full count.
When I think Kirk Walker really had conversations with Lauren Lappin, assistant coach at Arizona, about if she believed, you know, Grace Jenkins could play at this level, and Lauren Lappin said, yes, absolutely she can.
This is driven to left center field and off the wall. Jenkins took an awkward turn at first, but she is in safely with a double.
And just like that, on command, Grace Jenkins rips a double. Lefty on lefty matchup, and she gets a curveball that's moving away from her, just stays on it. Another two-strike hit here for the Spark. This time coming from the 9-hole. Almost got out of here. TrackMan's distance shows 225 feet. Some good distance behind it.
This is lofted in the air. The wind is going to push this toward the wall, but just in front of the warning track circle makes the catch. And Jenkins is up to third.
The shortstop, number 2, Sydney Romero.
First time Maya Brady has been retired in the game, had a single and a walk. Now Sydney Romero, who reached on a fielder's choice and had an RBI triple last inning. Mariah Lopez with the pitch clock winding down calls time. It's a little different, a little faster here in the AUSL. 15-second pitch clock. The batter has to be in the box ready with 7 seconds. This is just off the bat foul.
It goes by so fast. I mean, coming from the Women's College World Series to the opening series in Utah, you know, under a week time, that 5 seconds might not seem like a lot, but it really moves the pace of the game very quickly. The pitchers have to get ready quick, and so do the hitters.
Romero just rips it over the third baseman into left field. It was kind of an awkward swing, but it works.
Awkward because it's a changeup, so she gets fooled a little bit, but then throws her barrel at the pitch. And it also is just, I don't know, at her shoelaces. Like, how did she go down and get that? Barrel control on the changeup. Spark crushing the ball.
Nice job by Williams to smother it at third. But another run scored. 3 in the first, 4 in the second, and 1 here in the third for the Spark. got tomorrow a full slate of games. Yet again, it starts at noon Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. The Volts Blaze open their series. Carlin Pickens will get the ball for Carolina. Nyjeri Kennedy might see her. She is available for the Volts after signing just a couple days ago. And then we are back here 2 Eastern on ESPN2. And the day wraps up in Salt Lake City, 4 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. The Cascade and Talons, where the other Bruins have officially arrived. Taylor Tinsley and Jordan Woolery are at least with the team now. We'll see if they're ready to go come later today when that series starts.
Well, and how about that game tomorrow? The one that's on ESPN will also be on Deportes. We have several games in June and July that are going to be streamed on ESPN Deportes, which they will be speaking Spanish there, and we'll have a play-by-play and analyst.
Out into shallow right center, and it's kind of knocked away by Jenkins, which allows Elon Butler to stride into second base.
But how cool is that?
Second baseman, number 50.
And we're going to be able to have that as an option as a fan.
Even more coverage of the AUSL this year. So many games on ESPN, and now adding in ESPN Deportes as well. That does go down as a double for Elon Butler, so both of her professional hits are doubles, and they're both kind of similar in the sense that they were kind of bloops into shallow outfield.
We'll take it. Anything will work like that.
Bandits have to start chipping away at this lead. So they're also in the danger of a run rule after 5 innings, same as the college game, 8 after 5. So not only do they need to get going if they want a chance to win this, they need to make sure this doesn't end early. Mailana Agbayani, the rookie from Oklahoma, fouls it down the right field line.
Yeah, exciting to see Carlin Pickens get the start against that Volts team that has a good offense as well, trying to string some things together. They lost that series last weekend in Game 3 in the rubber match on a walk-off hit by pitch. So you know that that Volts team has a little bitter taste in their mouth that they lost their opening series, and the way that it ended, a come from behind victory that the Spark had against them. And the Blaze played very well last weekend. I keep saying weekend. A few days ago, during the week of opening series.
Be interesting to see, too, when Carlin Pickens throws for Carolina, is it always Reese Atwood? It would make sense. That's who caught her in the first game. They know each other. They've played against each other. They've also played together for Team USA, so it makes sense that that's the battery you stick together and hope that in 15 years you're still watching them throw together.
Well, and the other big news that just happened is Nyjeri Kennedy signing to play for the Volts. So we had probable starters going into each series. She's not a probable starter. She just got there, but will she throw it all in this series? She'll join up with the team officially. So 17 out of 17 rookies of the drafted rookies have now signed to play in the AUSL this summer, which is just outstanding. And this senior class that we had with the rookies in this game, the rookies on all 6 teams, they're just absolute all-stars and add so much athleticism and depth to this league, to the veteran all-stars that we already had.
Somewhat unprecedented back-to-back years with every draft pick signing as Agbayani grounds out, and it works as a sacrifice to move Elon Butler over.
The center fielder, number 18, Morgan.
Can you imagine being a GM in this draft, trying to figure out who you're going to take first? So you go with Carlin Pickens. That was Dana Sorensen's first pick for the Blaze, and then Nyjeri Kennedy. I think we felt like those would be the top 2, just didn't know what order. And then Maya Johnson, who we're watching right now, is in the circle, the 3rd pick.
So many stars. Like, I just don't know any other way to say it. The amount of talent in this league, from the veterans who may have been playing for 10 years at this point, or 5 years, or it's their first year for these rookies. This league is loaded with talent, and that rookie class, I mean, the senior class this year was just the hitter in Megan Grant setting a home run record and a D1 record single season with 42 home runs, and Jordan Woolery with over 100 RBIs, becoming only the 5th player ever to do that. Maya Johnson, Ruby Malin on the Spark. I mean, there's just name after name after name in that first-round draft. If you're a first-rounder in this draft class, like, that's a big deal.
Maya Brady was having, or excuse me, Maya Johnson was having some problems with her pitch comm. I think Maya Brady's is working out in center field.
It is tricky with this Spark team because I think we have 3 Sydneys and a couple of Mayas. So we have some repeat names that you just got to make sure that you're on the same page of who you're talking about, when you're talking about them.
Zirkle swings through that pitch on the outside corner. 1-2 count here to Zirkle. This is the spot the Bandits need to come through in the 3rd inning. Zirkle obviously not in a leadoff position here, but in the opening series, she was 3 for 5 as a leadoff hitter. She walked to start the game today, so she is just on fire leading off innings for the Bandits. Chops this left side. There is Jessie Warren, who reaches up and makes the play. Be sure to follow the AUSL and our 6 teams on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to see exclusive content featuring your favorite AUSL players, including highlights, mic'd up moments, and behind-the-scenes action. Aaron Koffel, the last chance in the 3rd for Chicago, watches the first pitch outside, ball 1. Koffel maybe playable down the right field line, but it does get down.
And you know that with Erin Koffel in the year that she had last year, and just a prolific hitter, MVP of the league, the amount of home runs that they hit, or that she hit, she's going to get pitched around with a couple of rookies batting behind her, and Taryn Kern and Jocelyn Erickson. So it's going to be important for her when she gets a pitch like that last one that's close enough to hit, especially with the runner in scoring position, she gives it a go. She walked 6 times in the opening series in 3 games, and teams definitely are going to be trying to pitch around her. And none of those walks were intentional walks where they just went ahead and put her at first base.
Maybe the most important role on this team right now is Aaron Koffel's protector. Swings through it. Johnson gets the strikeout. It is her 3rd of the day, and she is through 3 scoreless against Chicago.
And she finally moves the ball up. She is being so tricky. She did this a lot in college, but we haven't seen it as much here.
Heavyweight showdown tonight in Omaha at the Men's College World Series. Number 6 Texas taking on number 3 Georgia at 8 Eastern. Watch it live on ESPN. You can stream it on ESPN Plus and the app. It's hard to believe our only representation from either of those 2 schools. We only have one, and it's Mary Jacopo behind the plate.
Yeah, and that's going to be a really good game tonight. Men's College World Series is off and running. I still can't believe that West Virginia stole home in their first game played at the World Series in history in the first inning. How crazy was that?
Well, check swing by Bubba Nichols' Camarena, and Agbayani retires her for the first out. I think their social media post about it said they stole Omaha.
The catcher, number 97, Delaney
Also a
Wiz.
play off of what Oklahoma is doing, a team that's at the Men's College World Series with Oklahoma. Oklahoma. I forgot.
No, you don't know.
But it is a play off of that.
It is.
I keep seeing it on my Twitter feed.
Work on it overnight. We'll come back and do it again tomorrow.
There's both versions. I don't know. Just, go look it up on X and you'll be able to find it.
OKC's 1 through 5 hitters today, 8 for 13. They've hit all 3 home runs and driven in all 8 runs. That is called production. Delaney Wiz is a part of that. In the 5 spot, a single and a solo shot in the first 2 innings.
Well, and how much does it sting Jenny Dalton-Hill and the Bandits that 2 of the 3 home runs were former Bandits that were on their team last year? Unfortunately, lost them in the expansion draft and now having to play against them and the long ball against them today.
Oklahoma City and the Portland Cascade were the only 2 teams to take part in the expansion draft. And the way you can kind of differentiate between the drafts, the expansion draft is only with the teams that were coming in. So only 2 teams picked in that. Well, former Bandits that are now on OKC, Sydney McKinney, who is not here yet, Bubba Nichols Camarena, and Delaney Wiz. But 5 of the 7 expansion picks for the Spark came from the top 2 teams, from either the Bandits or the Talons. This is driven to center field, and carrying Wiz did it again. Second of the day for Delaney Wiz, and now a league best 3 on the year.
Her other one was just a dead bullseye to left field, and it went about, I didn't get a number on it, but I think it went about 280 feet. This one more toward the middle of the field, just stays on this inside pitch and guys are right back up the middle of the field. I think a little help from the wind too, getting up in the jet stream.
Delaney had just 2 hits in the opening series. One was a double, one was a home run. She has 3 hits today. 2 of them are solo shots. We've talked about Delaney for a couple years now as being one of the more underrated players in the league. Ground ball right side, Agbayani handles it. And guess what? Let's hear from Delaney Wiz again.
All right, Delaney, here we are again. Oh, okay. You just launched that one over the fence. Did you know it was gone?
I feel like I never know when it's gone, so I'm just running hard out of the box, and then if I turn, it's gone. It's gone.
Tell us the secret. Is there some sort of magic in the air today for the Spark?
Nope, just competing every pitch. I think that's just our motto. Win every pitch and see what happens from there.
I love it. Thanks, Delaney.
She can play both corner infield spots. She can catch. She was so clutch last year for the Bandits, had 2 walk-off base hits. This is a shocking number right now, not in the sense that the Spark have scored a lot, but the scoreline at this point in the game, Bandits were very competitive in the opening series. Koffel spinning. Oh, what a play!
Jam by Aaron
Koffel dazzling in the middle infield. Can that get them going? at the ballpark. Not the opener the Bandits fans had hoped for. Down 9-0. They tried to get behind their team after that Aaron Koffel great play defensively. Also a special weekend. A Little League day at the park, and here's some of our former Little Leaguers, including one of our general managers.
I love it when we do this, seeing the throwbacks, and Peja Gould and Jesse Warren, who grew up playing Little League baseball, Jenny Dalton Hill, Morgan Zirkle. Look at these little guys playing Little League. There are so many little girls all around the ballpark welcoming, and there's Jenny Dalton Hill in today's present day. There's so many little girls walking around the park that now have hopes of being a professional softball player one day, and getting to see these athletes play live, getting to see them play on ESPN, getting to look up to these athletes, get autographs after the game. It's that time of year, Little League softball summer.
My hope is that Jenny Dalton Hill is going to look at her phone. I just texted her that picture of herself in the Little League gear, and I'm hoping to get a little reaction. We can see her from the booth sitting over to our right.
She's writing you back right now.
That's right, yeah.
She's totally, did she write you back? Did it send?
She did. She's laughing about it. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. And, you know, we'll play an AUSL game, or we'll play an Athletes Unlimited game, the pro games at the Little League Softball World Series in Greenville, North Carolina, like we have for the past several years. Little League Softball World Series has grown big time.
Yeah, tell us what stands out most, though, because you've had the front row seat. So what has changed the most? Is it just the crowds, the viewership? What is it?
Both, yes, to both of those things. But the pitching has gotten so much better across the board in these teams that make the Little League Softball World Series. And I just think that the level of play is just growing and growing and growing. It's so awesome to see. Championship game on ABC again for the second year in a row.
12, Jocelyn Erickson.
And we are to the point now in softball's lifespan where we basically get it from early February to the end of August. Jocelyn Erickson swings through that pitch. As we've been chatting, Maya Johnson's retired 4 in a row. She has struck out the last 2. She hasn't allowed a base runner, or she's only allowed 2 base runners in the game, a walk and a double.
She's just looked really good. Her spin is really good. She's not going to overpower you with a ton of speed like a Carlin Pickens type at 75, 76, 77 miles an hour. But my goodness, Maya Johnson, her spin is very good. You can see it with her movement, the swings and misses that she's getting, the way that she's changing speeds with her changeup. What a great start that she's having. And an all rookie staff that the Spark have.
One-two count now to Erickson, trying to retire 3 straight on strikes. Popped up on the infield, long run, and caught over there by Haley Lee, who takes charge on the infield. 2 outs. You said it, the AUSL Pro Game at the Little League Softball World Series presented by Dick's Sporting Goods returns on Wednesday, August 5th at 7 Eastern on ESPN2 from Greenville. You can watch the stars of the AUSL compete and inspire the next generation. Visit theausl.com for more info. So you said it, Maya Johnson leading this young pitching staff. All 5 of them that are active right now are rookies, 3 of them out of the reserve athlete pool. So they're still missing Jalen Ford, who's an 11th year pro from James Madison, and Elena Vaughter, as well as Maddie Penta. But what a luxury to be able to go in and get Lindsey Grine out of Oregon, to get Ruby Malin from Oklahoma State, who we'll see in Game 3 get the start, and the lefty from Duke, Cassidy Curd, who's off to a great start.
This is a all-rookie pitching staff that is legit. Gives a bunch of different looks. They all have a ton of confidence. They all had great senior seasons, awesome careers at their colleges. Some of them got golden tickets, and then some of them didn't. And I'm just absolutely thrilled to see somebody like a Lindsey Grine, who didn't get a golden ticket handed out to her, not one of 17, to still be able to come and pitch in this league. And Ruby Malin, same thing. Cassidy Curd, the amount of pitching in that senior class was plentiful, and I'm so happy that they're getting a chance here to show what they've got.
2-2 count. Just misses outside to Sammy Williams, who struck out looking her first time up.
You mentioned the Bandits pitchers that are missing, but the Spark are also missing 3 pitchers. Jalen Ford, Maddie Penta, and Elena Votter put into a tough position. But these rookies are ready to go after their college seasons, primed and ready to compete, and ready to make a name in this league before they get back and compete with the Spark.
And part of the benefit there of the young pitching is no one's seen them. At least in person, you can see all the video you want, but a lot of these hitters have not faced them, and these longtime vets in the league. Now, a lot of times that's still not enough because we've got some elite hitters. This is going to be a professional debut here for the Bandits' newest member. Bella Dayton had to depart for international duty with Team Italy. She is in Prague right now, getting set for a qualifier. And this is their newest member, Tiana Bell. Rookie from Antioch, California, finished her college career with 18 home runs at Arkansas this season. First pitch swinging and pops it up on the infield. Warren shielding her face from the sun and makes the catch. 4 innings played, 9-0 OKC.
Athletes Unlimited is proud to...
Let's take a look at today's plays of the game presented by Mizuno, the official ball and helmet of the AUSL.
The play that they're just running back is the long ball. Bubba Nichols-Camarena in the first inning, Delaney Wiz in the second to the pull side. That wouldn't be the last one that she hits. Sid Sherrill, the lefty, another pull side home run. And then Delaney Wiz again to center field in the 4th inning. 4 home runs by the Spark in this game. 10 now total on the year through 4 games.
There's been an excellent crowd here in Chicago for the home opener. But outside of really one moment, and it was Aaron Koffel's spinning play up the middle, they have been largely silenced. The Bandits will expect to get the majority of their players back on the 22nd. I mentioned some of their top players missing right now in Japan, so the hope is that they will only miss about 8-9 games and then get back, and you still have time. You'll have 16 games remaining with what they will hope is a full complement of their roster, and they're certainly talented enough to make a run if they are in a tight spot, which they are looking likely to start the season 0-4. We do have a new playoff format this year in the AUSL with the 2 teams being added in. Instead of just the top 2 going straight to the championship, it is actually the top 3 going to the playoffs as Lopez gets the strikeout of Andrews for the first strike. I cannot wait, though, for the play-in game because the top seed goes straight to a best-of-3 series in College Station. The second and third seed will match up for a one-game playoff for an opportunity to go to the championship. I mean, that is unbelievable.
Yeah, I love that that game is going to be so intense, playing for a shot in the finals, and done in College Station at Davis Diamond, and a lot of people are going to be there. It's going to be very hot, of course, in Texas at that time, but the softball is going to be a little spicy too, which I love. It's going to be awesome to see.
Bandits and Talons last year. The Spark trying to position themselves to be in that spot in their first year in the league. Ground ball back to Lopez, who takes care of it, 2 outs. Well, don't forget, coming up on Sunday at 3 Eastern, some MLB action. The Cubs headed to San Francisco to take on the Giants. Game also on the ESPN app. Alana Agbayani, of course, comes from a very athletic family. Her dad, Benny, spent 5 years in the MLB. Her sister played softball at BYU and at Cal, and then her brother, Bruin, was drafted by the Twins in the 6th round of the 2025 MLB draft. This is Maya Brady into the gap in right center field. Another extra base hit for her, and she is going to try for 3. It's a triple for Brady. It looked like she might have just been happy with 2, but she says, no, I'm going to go see Joe Evans at third base.
She made a decision as she was going into second base, seeing just how that ball was playing out, that she knew she was going to go 3. Out of the box, she was probably even thinking it, but you saw her turn it on a couple of steps before second base, and then Joe Evans at third base and third base coach's box had the biggest smile.
Agbayani with a nice defensive play at second base. Keeps the Spark from scoring. Bandits need at least 2 to keep it going. For Maya Johnson, she departs, and enter Ruby Malin, the rookie out of Oklahoma State. Made 1 start in the opening series. It was her lone appearance, gave up 3 earned in 3 innings pitched, but so good to see Ruby at the pro level and can certainly be effective.
Yeah, and she ended her senior season at Oklahoma State just on a sky-high trajectory. Put the team on her back, took a lot of innings, took a big bulk of the load, and she just loves those moments, can handle a big load of innings, and she is just super competitive. Hard thrower, go mostly down the zone with her drop ball, change speeds a tad with her changeup, and can spin the ball up with her rise.
2 years at Washington, then back-to-back All-American nods at Oklahoma State the last 2 seasons for Kenny Gajewski. First pitch is going to leave the yard. Mary Jacopo puts the Bandits on the board. something she did a lot as a Longhorn, but her first of the season.
Well, and an important run there to get Chicago on the board, break up this shutout, and Chicago is going to try to score more here to break up this potential run rule. First pitch she sees, Jacopo gets all of it on time for 70 miles an hour down the heart of the plate, just throws her barrel at it and lets Ruby Malin provide the power off the bat for a home run.
Mary Jacopo hit 43 in her 3 years at Texas after starting her career at Oregon, so she has that power, but she really struggled last year offensively and is off to a better start this year. That's her third hit already of the season and her first home run. Quick visit with Malin after that first pitch to Elon Butler. Ruby Malin not just getting a chance back in the pro level, but also doing it very close to where she finished her college career in Stillwater at Oklahoma State. So the fans in the Oklahoma City area very familiar with Ruby's work. Still just 3 outs away from ending this in the 5th inning and improving to 3-1 on the season. Outside, let's go down to Anna with Mary Jacopo.
All right, Mary, you've got the home run hat. How important and needed was that home run for your team?
Oh my God, it was huge. I wanted to have my pitchers back, so they're working their butts off out there, and our defense is making great plays. I just wanted to give us something to get on the board.
How much does this momentum help your team as you guys try to avoid this game ending early?
We got a couple more runs before we're staying alive, but I think momentum-wise, we've just been in a lull. It's not a secret we got swept in the first series, so just continuing to fight when backs are against the wall. So the momentum's really important right now.
Really important. Keep fighting, Mary. Thank you. Back to you, Chucky.
The Bandits get the run on that would save them from a run rule in this game, and they're in a pretty good spot. Down to the 9-hole, nobody out, so Zirkle and Koffel await behind Agbayani. The Bandits need this, regardless of the result of this game. As Mary Jacopo just said, they've been in a little bit of a lull.
Well, and Agbayani has some experience hitting off of Ruby Malin, as Oklahoma State and Oklahoma would play each other despite being in different conferences the past couple of years. They still continue to play in that Bedlam matchup. So Agbayani has hit off of Ruby Malin before.
Ruby Malin actually said before the Supers with Nebraska, when we were chatting with them, that the win over Oklahoma this year for them felt like a turning point. And from that point on, they just kind of started to win. Everything started to go the right way. So Agbayani fouls this off and falls behind 1-2. (12-2) in the hit column for the Spark over the Bandits, and there is out number 1 on the strikeout for Malin.
That rise ball that she just got Agbayani swinging and missing at was spinning. A rise ball will be a little bit slower than her drop ball by a few miles an hour. Gets a chase from Agbayani and a much needed out.
Now Morgan Zirkle, almost feels like the outfield has crept in a little bit on that first pitch. The wind is blowing out for last year's home run leader in the league with 9. (1-0) pitch fouled away by Zirkle toward her former college coach, Shonda Stanton, who she was recruited by at Marshall and played 4 years for. Now Morgan, the head coach at her alma mater. There's Shonda Stanton. She was gold when we had her mic'd up just a couple days ago in Utah. 2-1 count.
Malin having trouble finding the zone here at times. And it seems like when she comes anywhere around the zone, Bandits are being very aggressive, and it's causing her to be a little bit more careful. Have a good take like that. That's a professional take right there on Ruby Malin's outside drop ball, because that would be a tough pitch to hit. I mean, that's not necessarily one you want, but it's a call that goes Ruby Malin's way, and then gets her right back in it to get the strikeout. My goodness. Paints that corner on a tough 2-1 pitch to the veteran of Morgan Zirkle, and she goes back-to-back drop balls outside for the strikeout, puts the ball in the exact same place, and this time gets a little chase from Zirkle for that second out.
Ruby Malin trying to close the door on this game against Erin Koffel now. Maya Johnson would be in line for the win after 4 scoreless innings for the rookie out of Belmont. Struck out 4, gave up just 1 hit and walked a pair. Strike 1 to Koffel. Koffel fouls this away, and Chicago down to their final strike. This was the #1 offense in the AUSL a year ago. We saw that in Game 3 against the Talons, but they lost in 8 innings, 9-8. Just has not all come together at the same time yet for Chicago.
This Bandits team hit 38 home runs last summer, led the league. A lot of pop, came out swinging early in the season. Their offense got out to a fast start, and it's just been the opposite to start this season, just trying to find their way.
One-two from Malin, down low, it gets away, and Elon Butler will take second. Could be an important one here now if Koffel puts something in the outfield for them to keep this going.
I think knowing that the 8-run rule lead is on the line with first base open now, I think that I would be really careful to Erin Koffel despite this 2-2 count. Not give her anything too sweet, knowing again that a rookie is on deck and Taryn Kern.
Another foul ball from Koffel. Well, and might not seem like much, but 2 more innings. More time for these Bandit bats to time up another pitcher. Malin is slotted to be the Game 3 starter in this series. And then if they were to get to her, to possibly have to go further into your bullpen. Taryn Kern awaits on deck, rookie out of Stanford. Got her! Job done for Oklahoma City as Ruby Malin gives up a solo shot and a walk to start the inning, but strikes out 3 straight.
And the pitching performance from Maya Johnson and Ruby Malin was on point. 4 home runs by the Spark and a run rule win with those 12 hits.
Well, that'll do it for the Series 2 opener here in Chicago. Still one more game coming your way later on CBS Sports Network for the Talons and the Cascade. For Amanda Scarborough, Anna Camden, and our entire crew, I'm Chucky Kemp. Coming up next on ESPN2 is SEC Storied, The Walk-Off. We will see you tomorrow.